Welcome to the LifePro podcast, where today I have the pleasure of having Desiree Nazarian, who's a nutritionist and a master's in public health and nutrition. Today's topic is a balanced diet. I'm excited to talk about that because that's always a hot topic for me. But before we get into that, Desiree, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Good. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm excited to be here.
Why don't you start out and tell us more about yourself and your journey?
So I am a mother of two, and I'm a nutritionist here in Beverly Hills. And I love what I do. I'm passionate about eating healthy, having a balanced lifestyle. I actually started off as a French and linguistics major because I have like a very big passion for languages. So I started off with majoring in that at UCLA. And I took a course in human nutrition, and that's what sparked my interest in nutrition. And I practiced what I learned on my family and friends and saw that they were able to eat healthy and lose weight. So I became very inspired by that class and helping my friends and family. And then I started working at the UCLA Center for Human Nutrition. And then I ended up going to USC for my master's in public health and nutrition. And then from there, I had different jobs in the nutrition field and specifically actually for weight loss. So I worked at USC Center for Obesity. I worked at Jenny Craig, and then I eventually opened up my own practice where I'm helping clients lead a healthy lifestyle and, lose the weight that they want and maintain it.
That's great. So let's talk about our topic for the day. What is a balanced diet? What does that mean to you as a nutritionist?
So for me, a balanced diet is incorporating all the different food groups. So it's essentially not doing these fad diets where you eliminate major food groups, like doing a no carb diet. It's really eating healthy and healthfully and choosing a variety of fruits, a variety of vegetables, choosing the quote unquote right healthy foods. So for example, carbohydrates, they get a bad reputation, but they're actually really essential for the body. So picking the right carbohydrates, so having complex carbohydrates instead of simple. Having lean protein, really the preparation of your food, and eating the right amounts of fruits and vegetables, and still enjoying what you love to eat, but having it all in balance.
Right. So fad diets, they work, and sometimes they're necessary based on certain symptoms or things that you have. But how come why are fad diets so bad? What are the downside of them?
Yeah, to your point, they do work, and people love going on fad diets because they lose weight so rapidly. So there's an urgency. I feel like a lot of people want to just lose the weight quickly and have the pounds shed. But the problem with it is that what happens is you'll lose the weight really quickly, but then you put it back on that much more quickly, and sometimes even more. You gain even more weight. So it's depriving yourself. That's what fad diets are. It's usually depriving yourself of something. And it's not sustainable over a long period of time.
Yeah. How do we create a habit of a balanced diet? Like for me, I'll do it for a certain amount of time. I get motivated, and then slowly I lose the habit and I go back to my old ways. We go, back to the mean, what we're used to for years and years. So I really struggle to lose weight. What is your advice for people that, get into it for a little bit but they just can't sustain it?
I think it's a commitment. So I think if you have a commitment to your health and you look at it as you're not trying to just lose weight, but you want to feel great, you want to have energy, it's for your inside and your outside. I think just that mindset of commitment, and also making it so that it's tailored to your lifestyle, and that it's sometimes easier. So again, like the fad diets are the ones that are less sustainable, but eating a balanced diet, I think it's more of making it your lifestyle and what you're used to, so you don't go back to the old habits. I really think it takes time, but you can really develop a palate for vegetables and fruits, and also allowing for some of the foods that you do really enjoy. So not really eliminating those. So making the time that you can have moments of eating pasta, or if you have a sweet tooth, incorporating that, so you can sustain it.
How often can you quote unquote cheat on your diet or eat something you shouldn't? Like, I mean, was there, where do you draw the line?
So I personally, I don't believe in cheat days. I feel like it's more of like a cheat item. So for my clients, I allow for like 2 cheat items a week. So
Mm.
let's say dinner. I always tell my clients either you choose between the alcohol, the bread basket, sweets, or if you want like French fries. So
Yeah.
don't go and do all of it. I'm going to drink the wine, I'm going to have the French fries, and I'm going to have dessert. Before you go prepare, ask yourself, like, what is it that I really want? Do I want to have a glass of wine, or am I really craving dessert? So, making room for just one of those, cheat items. And I would do that twice in a week.
And how often should we be eating? I mean, how many times a day?
So I'm an advocate for eating every couple of hours. I know a lot of people like to do intermittent fasting. That really slows down the metabolism and it causes us to overeat come next mealtime. So I'm a proponent of having breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then a
Mhm.
snack between breakfast and lunch, and a snack between lunch and dinner. That will help stabilize our blood sugars, and it will speed up our metabolism, and it will prevent us from overeating come next mealtime. So it's not, let's have like large portions, it's small portions every couple of hours. So again, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and 2 snacks.
How do we know what portion is considered small? Is there a rule of thumb?
So, for each person, it's different because it depends on our height, our weight,
Mhm.
our activity level, how much weight we want to lose. But there is a general rule of thumb that you can follow. But then again, the activity and your lifestyle, all of that does play a role. But generally, what I say to my clients is half of your plate should be non-starchy vegetables. So things like bok choy, spinach, kale, mushrooms, cucumbers, green beans. There are a bunch of different non-starchy vegetables, and that should come in the form of either salad or, grilled veggies or raw, or even like a puree of it as a soup.
Mhm.
And a quarter of your plate should be a lean protein. And that, like, a good visual cue is either like the size of the palm of your hands, a deck of cards, or a checkbook. So those are good visual cues for what your protein size should look like.
Mhm.
And a quarter of your plate should be a complex carbohydrate. So like sweet potato, brown rice, quinoa. And again, the visual cues would work for that. So palm of hand, deck of cards, or checkbook.
Is it possible to have a healthy lifestyle and eat out all the time?
It's a little bit more challenging to do so, but I do really enjoy eating out. So I think it's a lot of learning how to order when you're out. Most restaurants douse their food in butter and oil. So it's really important, the preparation. So I would
Yeah.
ask for it to be grilled or baked. And when you're asking for your fish or your chicken or your protein to be grilled or baked, you have to tell them no butter, no oil. Salads can be healthy, but the sauce can be, defeat the purpose of the salad. So getting the sauce on the side. There's different techniques that you can use, and different preparations that you can ask for to make your restaurant experience more,
Yeah.
quote unquote, healthy.
And how does hydration and sleep factor into a healthy lifestyle?
So they're a huge component of a healthy lifestyle. A lot of times we actually confuse hunger with thirst. So if we're not drinking enough, we may think that we're hungry when we're actually thirsty. So it's really important to drink at least 64 ounces of water a day. We can also think that we're fatigued, but you're actually thirsty. So a lot of times, like, if we feel like, we may be tired, it might actually be because you're thirsty. And then
Mm.
sleep, you don't get the proper 8 hours of sleep at night, it can cause us to want to eat. A lot of times we want to eat for, to get the energy. So sleep deprivation can also cause a spike in hunger. And I mean, sleep and being hydrated are, healthy in other ways as well. But those are specifics to weight loss. What the importance is.
Great. And so kind of off topic, but what is your opinion of, it is a hot topic from our community, the friends. A lot of people are getting shots like Mounjaro to suppress appetite. What is your thought on that? And do you condone?
I think I think it's a great tool. I am not personally somebody who advocates to go on prescription medications right off the bat. I really want to emphasize that it's for people who have 20 or 30 pounds or more to lose. I don't agree with it at all for people who just want to lose 5 or 10 pounds. I think that's irresponsible. I think that you also should have tried everything you can in your power to try
Yeah.
to lose it without the medications. So I think that it's for me personally, it's a last resort for my patients. So you've tried everything, you have 20 or 30 pounds or more to lose,
Yeah.
and I find that this is a safer option than other medications out there.
And what happens when you come off those drugs? Is it like other fad diets where you gain it right all back?
So you have to do it in a way where you're weaned off of it. And that's why I think nutrition counseling is important to go in conjunction with the Ozempic, because you can gain the weight back if you don't have the principles of nutrition down and you're not eating healthfully. So one key important thing is that when you're on the Ozempic, yes, it decreases your appetite, but also make the healthy food choices so your palate becomes accustomed to the healthier
Right.
foods. And once you're off of that, now you have this new palate,
Yeah.
and going back to eating the unhealthy foods in large portions of it.
So a lot of it is just building the right habits and just sticking with it and staying strong. Like you said earlier, you really have to want to do it. Like, we're not going to do anything unless we really want to do it. We won't follow through with all these things. So, unfortunately, a lot of people wait until it's out of control, and then they try to get help, or they hear their doctor saying that, oh, you're going to die soon if you don't if you don't do. And I've had experience with friends that have gotten to that point, and then they just became fanatical and hardcore, and now they're living a healthy lifestyle and they never want to go back. So I think once you experience that, working with a nutritionist and getting to a healthy lifestyle, you'll understand the benefits of the added energy and being able to accomplish more in your life by just being healthy. So what's the process, in seeing a nutritionist? How do you look for the right one that works for you? What do you advise people on that front?
For my clients, when they come to see me, what we do is we start off with their anthropometric measurements. And so that gets their body fat percentage, their muscle content, their basal metabolic rate, how many calories they burn at rest. And I feel like those are all important factors. So I would really seek somebody who does do your anthropometric measurements and someone who customizes it to you, because it's not a one size fits all. So, when they come to me, we sit down, we talk about their lifestyle. Do they travel a lot? Are they on the go? Do they like to eat at restaurants all the time? Because that makes a huge difference, knowing what their lifestyle is. So you can cater these personalized menus that I make to them, and you can give recommendations based on what their lifestyle is. You can't tell them okay, you travel all the time, don't travel, sit at home and eat your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. How do I make it so that it's user friendly for them, that fit within their lifestyle? So I think that's also very key, that it's, again, not a one size fits all for diet.
Right. I think that's, most people are very intimidated by making major changes in life. So if a nutritionist can make things easier and create a better life, then obviously it's something that everybody should do and follow through with what they can accomplish. So speaking of, a better life, that's what the LifePro podcast is about. We say that everything in life comes with a manual except for life itself. So one thing I ask all of my guests is, what is one thing you want to teach the world?
I want to teach the world that you can have balance and you can enjoy your life, and that eating healthy is not, again, just for how we look on our outside, but it's really how we feel on the inside. And yes, healthy eating is a huge proponent of it, but also meditation, journaling, exercise, those are all really important parts of having a balanced life and leading a healthy life. It's not just physical, but so let me take care of myself emotionally. Let me take care of myself mentally. So, putting that message out that it's not just what you eat, but it's also what you do and what thoughts you put in your brain, how you think, practicing gratitude. So there's so many different parts that can make us feel whole and complete and balanced.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. And our our minds are very powerful. If we just listen to our bodies, whatever you put into your body, will tell you how you feel, how it'll respond to what you put into it. So I love all that. And I think that's very inspiring. So speaking of being inspiring, is there a book that you would recommend that maybe inspired you, that changed your life?
So there's so many different books that I love, but I'm currently reading this book that is really inspiring me. It's called Don't Believe Everything You Think. It's not nutrition related, but it's perfect for me because I'm an overthinker and I think
Mm,
I'm thinking all the time. And it's really teaching me to just be aware of my thoughts instead of giving it energy and instead of judging it and then going into this vicious cycle. So it's helping me because I am, trying to be present. And meditation, I think, is one of the ways that you can help with just acknowledging your thoughts
mm,
instead of like engaging with them. And what I also love about it is that it tells you that when you're passionate and you're doing something that you're passionate about, you'll notice that the thinking kind of you're not thinking, you're not engaging in the thoughts. There may be thoughts you're so passionate that you're not giving energy to the thoughts. So I'm just being more aware of that and trying to
that's great.
be.
That's great. And it ties in really nicely with our topic today is, having a balanced diet starts with being aware of yourself, being aware of what you're putting into your body and making those decisions that are better for you. So our last question is how could someone reach you or follow you?
Sure. So my Instagram is Desiree Nazarian. And I actually put tips on there, not just for nutrition, but just having like a healthy lifestyle, mentally, emotionally, physically. So they can follow me on there. And also they can reach my office. The phone number is 310-299-8959. So those are two ways that you can get in contact with me.
That's great. I thank you so much for your time. I had a lot of fun. I ask that everybody like, follow, and share and help us spread the word. Thank you so much, Desiree. Thanks for spending your time with us.
So much for having me. Thank you.
Take care.